What the heck do you have in your nose? Yes. Yeah. I don't know, can you? Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
No one who is severely handicapped needs to fear that they will get paid any less. In fact, they're going to see an increase. We want them to be able to earn more money before losing their benefits. And we're hearing a lot of support in the disabilities community.
This province is the only province that is actually expanding disability supports. This province is the only province that is actually expanding disability supports.
Aish Actions Revolutionary Podcast.
Chantal and Gavin.
You have now entered the no bullshit zone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, out there in YouTube land. Happy Monday afternoon to everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, as I did, more or less, quite uneventful, really. I worked on a certain video that will certainly, definitely be completed in 2035. And it's taken a long time to get that done, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that. But I worked on it. I worked on it a lot, man, this weekend. And did some investigative stuff to bring today's show to you. And we're going to bring you that very shortly. The 5 words that could very well help you in your personal cause. It's not the 7 words you can't say on television, but it's the 5 words you can say to any Aish representative. And some of them are even 4-letter words. So anyway, that's me. And right next to me, albeit about 350 kilometers away, is my amazing co-host. You know her, you love her. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Chantal, ladies and gentlemen, of course. So I felt really good, Chantal, about Friday's podcast. I felt really good about it. Yeah. I felt like, we really reached a lot of people. And I think people were thankful. I know I was. And I think it was a great show. So, in regard to that, what's up my nose, you ask? Well, I will explain that. I almost forgot because I've had it in here so long. It's becoming a part of my, it's becoming an appendage. So what happened? Well, simply I shaved last night. Because I care about you people. And in so doing, I cut just the inside part of my nostril, right at the base. But lo and behold, that's where you have a shitload of, veins and vascular shit going on, right? And so I didn't think much of it. I'm like, I've cut myself a million times. Well, I've told myself a million times not to exaggerate too. But I've cut myself numerous times. No problem. This time, it would not stop. I mean, I did the 15-minute trick, lean slightly forward, pinch the shit out of my nose, breathe through my mouth, 3 times in a row. So 45 minutes. You're supposed to do it twice. Nothing. Just kept pouring out. And so I was like I gotta sleep. It's not like I'm losing blood. It's not like, I've lost an arm or a leg. But it was coming out, drip, 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 right? And I'm like, I gotta sleep, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I hadn't thought that actually doing this would work. So I called the ambulance, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so they show up. And I'm hoping they could do it in-house, like a doctor's call. It's not life-threatening. I'm 60 years old, but that's the worst of it, really. I'm not on blood thinners. I'm not blah blah blah. And they're like, oh well, we'll probably have to take you in. And I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept. I don't know how I'm going to get back from this one-way trip. And so I'm like, screw it. I'll just stay here. So, I had the ingenious idea, or the only idea left, that I would just stuff shit up my nose. And that's what I did, and I slept this way last night. I woke up this way this morning. I prayed to our Heavenly Father, to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, please don't let it bleed anymore. And boom, bloop, bloop. Fuck. So I just stuffed more up there. I've changed it like 3 times. It ain't stopping for nothing. So if anybody has a miracle cure out there, I would love to hear it. Outside of the pinching your nose and holding yourself forward, I've tried that ad nauseum. Sorry, ad nauseum is a bad word these days, or the combination of 2 words. But if you have like a miracle cure, short of setting myself on fire, I would love to know. I thought they could just cauterize it, Chantal. Just come here and just bam, right? Nope.
Yep.
Nope. Nothing. Got to take in $500 for a one-way limousine ride. And I'm like, no, I'll stick it out. I will stick it out. Nicole, hello, what happened with your nose? Well, now you have the full story. Ouch. Yes. Probably need to be cauterized. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like just zap me. Just come here. You got lots of tools. Lots of tricks in your bag. Just bam, right? We'll be good. Nothing. So there are, what do we got? 2 watching, and I really want to reach out and thank everyone. I kind of considered personally 200 subscribers a milestone. We now have 203, and so I really want to thank everybody out there for supporting us. It really means a lot. It means that I think we're doing something correctly, and I think we're maybe helping. And I know Chantal's pussycat just loves us to death. I mean, look at her hanging out. Look at her hanging out. So I really just want to take a moment to thank you all for for believing in what we're doing and for believing in yourself more than believing in us. You obviously desire to have the best information you can get, and I believe that we're delivering as much of that as possible. And it obviously means something to you, and that means something to me, and I'm sure Chantal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just bear with me. This white thing is going to be up my nose for the entire podcast today, because if I take it out, I will turn a brown shirt to red. I really want to do that. I like this shirt. I've had this shirt for 20 years, man. 20 years.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and it still fits. Well, it doesn't. I'm over 200 pounds now. I am fat. I am. I have to accept that now, or do something about it. So, what? How was your weekend, Chantal? Of course, I should ask you that.
Oh, it was busy. Really busy in the group this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots going on. Lots of concern.
Oh, yeah. Lots of different angles for me to look into and dig into. So it definitely hasn't been busy or hasn't been boring over here.
Right. Anything new? Any kind of major concerns people are having as a large group of individuals?
Well, I know that everybody wants us to talk more about the 88% amount that's going to be going into effect at the end of this month for people that are cohabitating.
Okay.
So I ended up releasing a whole new breakdown on that
Yeah.
just for those specific people, and it's already live on the site and on the Facebook group. So if people want that information, it's there. We covered it originally last month, just briefly in our income analysis breakdown, where it really dove into the numbers of it. So that's still available on the website and on the Facebook group. Where is it here? Lots of people coming to me with, okay, well, what if I'm just living with somebody like a roommate? So I ended up going into that. And of course, everybody's asking me for things that I'm currently or was currently working on.
Oh.
So that's already up. Because it kind of goes hand in hand with the cohabitation thing. So, and I knew that was just going to be a natural falling point or the next step
Right.
to that one, because people don't always live on their own. So just kind of covering that. Where is it here? Guides for like new busing information for accessible transit services in Edmonton and in Calgary. Those are already live as well. That was, I think, last night before I went to bed at 4 o'clock this morning.
Oh, wow.
I did a correction for an old table here for the ADAP stuff that Mary Renault ended up posting. It was out of date, so I updated it. Ours is current, and there's been some changes to that I let the group know about, because we were under the impression that there was no ADAP medical appeal panel, right?
Right.
Because of Bill 12. There is actually going to be one, but we can break that down a little bit later.
Sure. Okay, so that's obviously something on people's mind then, that whole 12%
Yeah.
reduction.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, we have an angle that we're looking at today, but I really had no, clue what was going on your side of the fence. Do you want to take a little bit of time maybe just to discuss that, or maybe you just did, but if you didn't, do you want to broaden it, or?
Well, I can read my posts because they're pretty. They kind of fill in all the gaps, right?
Okay. Okay.
So regarding the cohabitation thing, so 2 disabled people, 1 home, less money. This one starts at the end of the month, right? So if you and your partner both get disability benefits and you live together, read this, because a change is coming to your payment, and I want you to hear it from us first, calmly, before it shows up. So starting the August benefit period, which is the check that lands at the end of this month, couples where both partners are on disability get hit with a new rule. Each of you drops to 88% of your individual amount. That is about 12% less each, not once, every month. So here is what that looks like in real dollars. A couple who both stay on AISH lose about $466 a month. A couple both on ADAP loses about $817 a month. And that is before the $200 federal clawback on each of you. And before a single hour of work is counted. Stack it all up, and a 2 ADAP household can lose up to $14,611 a year compared to what the two of you get today.
Wow.
Read that number again. $14,000 a year from a household of 2 disabled adults for the crime of living together.
Right.
Now the part that matters just as much. Who this does not touch. So this is a couples rule. It is for spouses and partners. It does not apply to a roommate. It does not apply to a relative you live with, a sibling, an adult child, a parent who is not your partner. If you share a home with your family or roommate and you are not a couple, you each keep your full amount. If anyone tells you otherwise, come check with us first. We did the full math on the government's own published numbers, and it is all sourced, every figure, where it comes from, laid out so you can check it yourself. If you are a couple both on benefits, watch your end of July check and ask them in writing to show you exactly how they calculated it. Do not just accept a smaller number you cannot explain. You are not imagining this, and you are not alone in it. Read the full breakdown. And I linked it.
Okay. $14,000, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Just for being in a relationship and living with somebody.
Yeah, just for being human.
Yeah.
Wow. And really, not only should you be keeping that $14,000, but that should be your yearly take home from the Heritage Fund.
Yeah.
So not only should you not lose $14,000, you should actually get an extra $14,000 because your government has done well by you by saving your resources. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I talk about when I say that our province has all the wealth it would ever need. And they are raping and pillaging.
Yep.
That's all they're doing. 14 grand a year from the most needy citizens and the ones that need it the most? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Well, once again, you know, ladies and gentlemen, don't throw pearls to swine. You know? So if your pearl is being in a relationship, don't fucking tell anybody that. Just love who you love. And know, you know, what you mean to each other. But you're a roommate to everybody else. How's that? How fucking ridiculous, man. How inhumane that is. I know it's hard to take me seriously with Kleenex up my nose, but I'm serious. What a terrible fucking thing. What a horrible, horrible thing. Ivy, hi guys, had to back it up. Okay, good. So you know why I got shit up my nose. Nicole, that's absolutely absurd. 2 people just trying to get by together. Yeah, and love one another, you know, and be otherwise human together.
Yeah.
And we're having enough problems in society, you know, to hold on to relationships these days. Anybody that has one, you know, should receive an award. Not the detriment of being able to love another human being. So I could see why people this weekend were, well, I don't know about this weekend, but why people in this predicament are so concerned. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, what do you say about that? It is such a loss to us as people, you know, just to be able to love and to be fortunate enough to have someone that maybe you could save a little bit with.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can do that, you know, week in, I don't know, you know, Hell's Gate or Banff or or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
Vancouver,
exactly.
Vancouver is seeing an overpriced legacy rock band. Yeah. Whatever.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, enough money to go on holidays with, especially these days. But the amount that the couples would bring in would go towards, you know, groceries or medication that isn't covered, right? So basic necessities for people that are on disability. So it's disgusting what this government is doing. It really is.
Well, that's a good point, and I take the correction. I think you're right. I think, you know, really before anybody is hustling off to the Barbados, you know, they got to eat, and they got to have something over their head, and this is going to make it, the loss of 14 grand is going to make it an existential crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And how are people going to deal? You know, once again, this is where we come back to the existential crisis of all of this. Mm-hmm. And a fucking cunt of premier that goes on a radio show and says, don't fucking worry about it. Mm-hmm. The NDP are just fear-mongering you. She not only is she lying to you, that's fucking evil. Mm-hmm. That's literally the definition of evil. It's not Satan, and it's not, you know, obscure things under your bed. It's real people in real life doing the most horrendous things they can to another person or to a society. That's evil. Evil. And we need to be exorcised of that evil. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Let's see what the chat thinks. Not much since Nicole. Maya, hi all. Hey, Maya. Hope you're doing well. If you haven't started from the top, you will notice a big piece of white sticking out of my nose. And there's a good reason for that, but you can maybe back up and hear me explain it. I'm okay. I'm not bleeding to death. Although last night I was like, wow, that's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood. Anyway, so do you think we've sufficed in this area, Chantal, with this 88%?
Yeah, I'll just go over the companion post here for the people that are living in situations with roommates.
Sure.
So living with someone, find your situation in 10 seconds. So a lot of you have been asking the same scared question as the cohabitation cut hit me. So we built a plain language guide that answers it, and the answer for many of you is no. There are 3 situations. Read the one that is yours. So 1, you are a couple and you both get ACE or ADAP. This is who the 88% rule is for, and yes, it affects you. The guide shows you what it costs and what to ask for. So number 2, one of you is turning 65. This is the quiet one almost nobody is talking about, and it can hit harder than the couple's rule. When one partner moves to seniors benefits, that income gets counted against the other partner's age, and a household can end up worse off even when the seniors partner gets more. So if this is you, this section is written for you. 3rd section, you live with a roommate or a relative who is not your partner, a sibling, an adult child, a parent. Good news, the cut does not apply to you. It is a couple's rule. Living with someone does not make you partners, and you keep your full amount. If anyone told you otherwise, they were wrong. So before you panic, find your situation. Some of you are going to close this guide relieved. That is the whole point. You should not carry a cut that was never yours to carry. This is the plain language companion to our full income crossover analysis. This one tells you which situation is yours. That one shows you the full math on the government's own numbers. So, and for everyone, no matter which situation fits, the same rule holds. If your payment changes and you cannot see why, ask them to show you the math in writing. You have a right to know how your own benefits are worked out, and you can read it on the website.
Okay. So
just lots of information so far, even just the beginning of the week here.
Yeah, wow. Now I have a question about that, because from what I've heard, I don't incur this difficulty, but I've heard from people that prior to this ADAP switch and the 12% and 88% and all that, when they were living with a roommate before, the AISH was really pressuring them in terms of ascertaining whether that was a partner or not, and some allusion to whether people were actually having to pay even if that person was a roommate. So can you speak to both of those things? Is that true under AISH? And why now does it seem like it's not applicable under ADAP?
So with, I know that it was a thing under income support, so Alberta Works. I know that for sure. If you're living with somebody for, I think it's 3 months, they can classify you as common law. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't realize is if you have a roommate and they're on a lease, that's fine. But the thing to make sure that is in writing is any kind of agreement between the two of you.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So any kind of financial commitment, or let's say you're doing chores for room and board, anything like that, you need to have an agreement between the two of you that you can supply to AISH that states, you know, we have our own bedrooms, this is what our finances look like, that kind of thing, or that this is the amount of money, period, that is changing hands. Because that's their main thing, is they want to make sure that nobody's getting any kind of leg up financially with anything, right? That's what their whole goal is.
Right.
So I had a lady reach out to me, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. She needed a basic agreement between her and her roommate, stating that she does a lot of the yard work, or, you know, like chores around the house as part of her rent. So I helped her to create that, and they signed it and sent it where it needed to go. So at least they're protected them. So that is something else that I can do to help the community. If you guys need agreements, like roommate agreements or what have you, we can at least get that in place.
Just another service you provide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we all thank you for that. The hardest working lady in show business, ladies and gentlemen, right here. That is quite something. So what you're saying is that if you can prove that, whether, you know, the person is on the lease or not, you can prove that we have our own separate bedrooms, own separate wardrobes, you know, whatever else, then you should be okay to not have anything deducted. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, because mainly what they look for, like even when they send out that random audit for our three months of banking information, what they're making sure is that if any money is changing hands, that we're not accumulating that.
Yeah,
that we're not getting rich on nothing, right?
And God forbid.
So make sure that you don't have any joint accounts with your roommate or with whomever it is that you're living with. I know I made that mistake. We figured it was just easier, right?
Yeah, of course.
To just pool everything into one account and pay everything, you know, bills, rent, everything out of the one account. Well, I guess that doesn't look very good, because they automatically assume, oh, well, if you have a joint account, then you guys are, you know, together. So I understand where that kind of misconception is, but we got to protect our own asses at this point.
Well, but, you know, the government is supposed to go by the rules, and that is an assumption. It's an assumption that you have a joint bank account, therefore you are cohabitating in some passionate sense. That's an assumption. And the government shouldn't be up to assumptions. It should be up to facts. And the fact is, whether you are or you aren't, you tell the government, no, we're not together, and number one, and number two, it's none of your fucking business. Then they should accept the fact of that, not the assumption that because one thing is one way, it means the other thing has to be that way. That's just a mere assumption.
Yeah, and with all of this LGBTQ stuff that's been going on in the media for a long time now, and it's a known, it's a very well known thing now. It doesn't matter if you have a roommate that is male, female, whatever, right? There's still, after 3 months, you're going to get questions as to whether or not you guys are common law.
Even if I tell them I'm not gay, okay? I'm not.
Exactly.
All right? I dress nice, but that doesn't mean anything, all right? You know?
Yeah.
I like blue suede shoes. That doesn't make me gay. Wow. Once again, assumptions, and more.
Well, anything for a buck, right?
Anything. The government.
Yeah.
Not us. We have to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, which I would caution you to be very weary of. You know, once again, throwing pearls to swine. These people don't deserve your truth. They are not worthy of your truth. And I think we all know that. We've all been in this game long enough to know that.
Yeah.
6 people, and nobody's talking. It might be because Pam is at the doctor's. I'd love to hear how everybody's doing, how you're feeling, how your weekend was. And, you know, number 2, this thing right here just kind of proves my love and my dedication to everybody. You know what I mean? I could have been just a typical man and be crying on the couch right now for a mummy, you know, because I have this affliction. But this is how much I love you. I come on here, and it doesn't matter what you know I'm going through or what it looks like. I'm here for you, and I couldn't be happier. And maybe this will help my nose stop bleeding. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. So, and now, do you think we've covered that, Chantal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. It's a lot, and it's a lot for people to think about. It seems to me that once again, the government doesn't want you living a typical life. It wants you to pay for your humanity. Whether that's being in a relationship, a thing the human species has done since we've been a species. You know, no soup for you. No good things. All we want is a little good thing, you know? You know, China has a high-speed rail. We just want something nice. And we're not getting it. But that's what today's about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the show is about today. So where could I go? You know what? I promised everybody, and especially you, and I need to honor that commitment, which I do my best to do. So I promised y'all that we would release that song. Now, I'm not done my video, and that sucks. And I almost wanted to like do what I had done, and I'm like, nah, you can't do that. You can't put it out unfinished, Erosion. Come on, you're professional. So I do have the song though, with Chantal's, you know, static background, but the song remains the same. Said Led Zeppelin. It is the song, and it's a beautiful song. To me, it's kind of an anthem, kind of a fight song, and you know, out of the beautiful brain of one Chantal comes the lyrics in which we can fight and think about and ruminate on and enjoy. So, for your listening pleasure, a world release today, #1 in Guam. Again, it's amazing how much Guam loves our stuff. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Alberta! Isn't listening! Ontario! We are buried under rent. We are rationing our food. We are choosing heat or medicine and calling that a mood. They told us help was coming, then counted every dime. Now the poorest are poorer and they're running out of time. This is not a province problem when Canadians disappear. This is not a budget issue when people live in fear. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, can you see us now? The impoverished are worse off now, and we need you to step in now. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, this is your line. We are Canadian people, and it is time to act now. We filled out all the forms. We waited on the phone. We told them we were drowning. They said, try again alone. We followed every process. We gave them every name. But policy without protection is just harm with a frame. So don't tell us to be patient. Don't tell us to be still. You cannot study poverty while poverty kills. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, can you see us now? The impoverished are worse off now, and we need you to step in now. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, this is your line. We are Canadian people, and it is time to act now. Step in for the disabled. Step in for the poor. Step in for the people who cannot take much more. Step in for the families. Step in for the scared. Step in for the hungry who are told nobody cared. We are Canadian. Time to step in. We are Canadian. Time to step in. We are Canadian. Time to step in. Step in, Canada. Can you hear us screaming? Canada, can you see us now? The impoverished are worse off now, and we need you to step in now. Canada, can you hear us screaming? Canada, this is your line. We are Canadian people, and it is time to act now. Hey! This is not charity. This is not pity. This is not pity. This is survival. This is duty. Canada! Can you hear us, Canada? Can you hear us, Canada? Step in now!
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Chantal's newest hit song release worldwide. World premiere. You heard it here first. And I'd love to know what y'all think of it. To me, it's kind of powerful. Yeah, Maya says, awesome. And it is awesome. It is awesome. Great job, Chantal, for that. And I am putting together the video for it, and I'm digging the video. There's one part Chantal doesn't like, and I don't like it either, but I don't know that I can go back and change it. You know, like I'm blocking every scene in AI, but I'm creating it all. So I'm not just, you know, telling AI to do something. I'm creating the scene as I go along. But it's so fucking expensive. I could almost hire a film crew to fly to Vietnam with helicopters and do the shooting myself. It's crazy. So that's going to come out very soon. Like I said, what's It's July 6th today, 2026. Yeah. So I should be done by 2032. So let's go to the chat just for a sec. Grace, hi Grace. Is Grace new to us, Chantal?
Might be.
Yeah. Hi Grace, nice to, meet your acquaintance. If it is your first time on here, you're seeing something stuck up my nose, and I genuinely apologize for that. I typically don't look like this. I try not to walk around town like this, but there's a good reason for it. Weekend was good, and I'm still pissed. Please pontificate on that. I would love to know more about what still pissed means specifically. Maya, once you isolated so they can control you better, of course. I mean, it's government, and it's the way we're doing things today all across the board. The middle class is feeling it. Everyone is feeling it. Everybody knows it. And people are afraid, man, because if it's happening to us, and this is the thing, we can, I think, put away the fact that something is being done to us now. Something is literally being done to us by a government in which we would have only suspected would happen in the past. And people, you can think about the conversation, oh, Gavin, that's so hyperbolic. That's never going to happen with Aish. Well, it's fucking here. It's here. So I don't think it was a conspiracy to talk about this 5 years ago, if anybody was. Your government is the one that conspires against you, not the people. Your government and legacy media are the two biggest conspirators in the world. Not the typical rando on YouTube. It's the government and media. They are the conspiracy theorists, or the conspiracy. Not just a typical, random guy on YouTube, such as myself. We have the receipts now. We know what is happening to us, and it is a form of eugenics, an absolute form of eugenics. And it cannot stand. We have to stand up for this. We cannot capitulate. We cannot roll over in this moment. And we are not. I so wish I had that video done to show you guys, because it's really hitting home. And I'll have it soon, I promise. Grace, I just want dignity. God damn it, don't we all, Grace? We're right with you there. We all just want dignity. Another great song, Chantal, says Nicole. Beautiful song. Maya, awesome. Yeah, Maya, it is. It is. It is awesome. It is awesome. Grace, not enough character space to expand on what I'm pissed about. The list is long. Chantal may know me as we've chatted on Messenger. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet your acquaintance, Grace, very much. Thank you for being on in the chat, and for, I'm going to assume, subscribing. So thank you very much. Azalea Grace, which is
Megan.
Thank you. Megan. Oh, it's Megan. Well, I could have just kept reading. And then I wouldn't have looked like an idiot. Hi, guys, it's Megan. That's a pretty awesome song, isn't it? Great to see you, Megan, by the way. Love you being in here, and love when we hear from you. Maya, history repeats. Sure does. Well, you know what they say, history may not repeat, but it certainly rhymes. And yeah, it's playing an old refrain once again. And the question is, just like in history, is it going to be the people that rise up to stop it? It was never the government, right? It was never the military. It was never the king. The king likes it the way it is. He don't want to change, and he'll do anything, even employ the military to ensure it doesn't change. So what are we going to do? Well, we're doing what we can here, and I think, as Chantal and I talk and keep going, we may have some ideas as to what to do from here. Grace, I want to hear why the AMA hasn't spoken out more. I suppose because they have as much info as we do. Alberta Medical Association. Yeah, fuck, that's a good question. What do you think, Chantal?
Well, I think Grace is on the right path here regarding that the AMA probably has about as much information as we do. I would say that that's probably our best lead at this point, is that, yeah, a lot of people don't have the information that they require to really speak out about much.
You think they're afraid because of how the UCP might claw shit back from them? How they may end up treating doctors and nurses in Alberta if they start fighting?
I think the Alberta Medical Association has a lot of stuff on the go right now, like with the new 4-tier system, with all of the changing to a 2-tiered system, private and public. I think they've got their own hands full at this point, and they have to clear their plate before they take on somebody else's serving, so to speak. Yep. So I don't think it'll be timely before the AMA gets involved.
Yeah, and maybe that's true. I know, I mean, think about it though, right? You go into your doctor and you say, hey, we'd love you to speak on our behalf.
Yeah.
There's fear there too. I really believe there's some fear there.
Well, even for a lot of the other advocacy groups that are still funded in Alberta, they've been warned that if they step out of line, it's their funding on the line. So I think at this point it has to be the people that aren't funded through this government that start to speak up. I think that's our best bet.
Wow. So you have the knowledge of this, yeah? You can speak to this about how they've been literally threatened?
Yep.
Wow.
That's why we're not seeing much.
And what would we consider to be these NGOs that you're talking about?
Well, like Voices for Albertans with Disabilities. There's a few other ones that are listed under the under the advocacy public pages.
Right.
To find out, hey, how do I fight this? How do I go about that? They're making it really narrow, very narrow for people.
Is it your assumption that they've been warned, or is it?
Oh no, I've had it come out from various group members that this is what's being said.
Right.
Because a lot of people have been in contact with a lot of these different advocacy groups for a number of years for whatever reason. So it's, it happens.
Yeah. And
it's happening. Well, but of course it's not being publicized, so I can't really point to any specific source.
Right.
But which kind of goes against my my thing, right? Because I like being able to point to public sources and go, hey, this is what's going on.
Well, and I think we're correct, in leaving it an assumption, or at least framing it that way, even if we may feel like we know better. It's probably best to state that as an assumption, but I think you're absolutely correct, Chantal, that, and I think it was, who was it, Maya or who the hell said it? History repeats. Yeah, Maya. Yeah, it's the same fucking playbook, ladies and gentlemen. Same playbook. Yeah. They're going to intimidate because they can. Whether or not specifically in what we're discussing right now, we don't know. But we know they have. We know they will. None of this is conjecture. And this, after Daniel Smith goes on a radio show and says, the UCP is just fear-mongering. Right. Hey, I ain't no fan of the NDP, okay? None. Not at all. Because I've met them. And they're worth less than they should be, and that's by their choice. They should be doing more, a whole lot more, but they're beholden too. All legacy politics is beholden. And because of that, I can't get in bed with any of them, and I won't. I refuse.
Yeah.
But the NDP is fear-mongering. What, by telling people the truth? By telling people that they are getting hurt when they are getting hurt? That's not fear-mongering, that's true. Nobody's saying it's pleasant. The truth isn't always pleasant. Like sometimes when the doctor talks to us in his office, sometimes that truth isn't pleasant, but it's the truth. And you would rather know the truth than be lied to by your doctor.
Yeah.
And so, once again, this is just political obfuscation, right? It's just, wow. Let me look up here. History repeats. Grace. Grace, I agree with Chantal. She's created a dumpster fire with AHS and essentially can't assist at the moment. It may be months before another statement is made. Yeah, she's being Marlena Smith. Marlena, you mean Marlena Dietrich? Marlena Smith. They're already being they're already.
I think Marlena is Trump's wife's name, as far as I know. A lot of people are putting the two together, like she's going to be his second wife or whatever.
I get you.
Meaning they're in bed together, right?
I get you, but what's her name? Is it Marlena? Marlena?
Yeah.
Melania. Melania. Okay. All right. Yeah, Melania. True. And she is being Melania Smith. Yep. I would not. I mean, you know, if you want any evidence of that, why don't we? I have so many things in here now, Chantal. My God. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Part of that is our problem, our fault, because we have not aligned, we have not come together to align with the working class of all parties, persuasions, everything else. We need to come together. We need to stop fighting. You know, this picture here that I just showed you.
Alberta, we're finally getting rid of these.
That's right.
Fight amongst each other. Because as long as we fight amongst each other, none of us will take the hill. Right? It's like the Tower of Babel. When God, you know, whether he did or he didn't, changed the languages of all people. And what that did is it confused the people, it made them argue amongst themselves, and they never finished the tower. Because they couldn't communicate anymore. And that's what we are. We're people that can no longer communicate one to another. Because we hate the gay, or we hate the MAGA, or we hate the this, or we hate the that.
Yeah.
We're the stupid ones. They know what they're doing. And as long as they have us fighting, we will never take the hill. We need to stop fighting and come together. Is it difficult? I suppose. But it's maybe more difficult for our ego than it is for our rational mind. We are not the problem. They are the problem. They are the house on the hill. And it makes me angry. That makes me angry, and it upsets me that we're not coming together the way we should. We are the working class. We are the poor. We are the handicapped. We are the people that inhabit this earth to 99.99%. And we're allowing this to happen to us. We got to stop treating ourselves so poorly. We have to believe in ourselves. I believe in everybody that I meet, especially in this demographic. They are amazing. They have shocked the literal shit out of me since I've been a part of this demographic. And we need to get together. I cannot stress that enough. Melody, yeah, they're already being threatened. Yeah, they're already being threatened. Of course they are. Autism Edmonton is another one. Is that what you're saying, Grace? Yeah, Chantal, yeah.
Well, because Autism Edmonton was putting through some appeals for individuals during the window that we were told there was no window of appeal.
Ew. Were they told to stop?
I don't know if they were told to stop directly, but they weren't allowed to announce that they were helping people with appeals. It was a very select few that they were helping.
Why wouldn't you want to know that? If apples are on sale, why don't I want to know that? That's really good, you know, especially if I like apples.
Mm-hmm. But they're government funded. So when
Right.
the government says, hey, if you keep going this route, right, and we're going to defund you, then what?
Thank God we don't take a fucking dime, Chantal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No.
We got freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Me lady, we can do and say whatever the fuck we want as long as it's within the purview of the law.
Yep.
Grace, the UK and Australia just went through this, yeah, exact same thing. We talked about that last week. We aren't the only disabled community being targeted. No, and we need to stand together, man, as we need to get our shit together on an individual basis. And when we do that, we need to reach out to our neighbor, and then we need to reach out to our community, and then our city, and then our province, and our country, and the world. Right?
Well, I've actually sent some feelers out to the UK and Australia to find out how they fought back and who their big voices were in their own causes, to see if they would go, or if they would be willing to be, what is the word? Witnesses to the harm that can be done within these programs for us.
Oh, fuck.
To fight back.
Have you heard anything?
Not yet. But I'm hopeful.
You smart
They just
lady.
finished fighting it on their front. We need help fighting on ours. So.
Right. Yeah, why not band together? Why not be a fucking, you know, global United Nations unto ourselves?
Exactly.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? I don't give a shit who you voted for. I don't care what your sexual proclivity is. We're all hurting. It's all that matters to me. All that matters to me.
Because all that we've been told legally here so far is that now it's all about documenting, right? So we need to document everything that's happening. So any kind of harm that's happening, any kind of unalivings that are happening, any kind of homelessness that's going to be happening, we're at that documentation phase, and it's like, but we've already seen this happen in the UK and Australia, and real suffering was already documented with the exact same program rollout that we're seeing happening here in Alberta.
2,300.
So it's already been documented.
2,300 in the UK.
Exactly.
Right.
So, like, why are we waiting to document something that's already been thoroughly documented?
Right.
And that's my argument.
Right. The UK isn't full of Martians. They're fucking human beings.
Nope.
And if this happens to, it doesn't matter where this happens to a human being anywhere in the world, it happens to humans, right? Your geography has no distinction in this case. It is purely a human issue. And so if it's happening in the UK, it ain't going to be any fucking different here. And the UK, at 2,300 people, with the amount of people that went through their program, or were transferred, or whatever happened to them, that's 1 in 900 people, right?
Yep.
They get rid of vaccines for 1 in 100,000 people. And then some vaccines they don't. But if it's 1 in 900, you would think they'd go, whoa, that's heavy shit. We can't allow people to be dying at a rate of 1 in 900.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, if they're not saying that, maybe that's part of it. Maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows,
exactly.
right?
So it all falls under that modern day eugenics piece that I ended up putting out last month. So
um, Daniel Smith's name is actually Marlena. Oh, is it? Oh, Danielle is her middle name.
apparently, it didn't come up like that in her Wikipedia, so she must be really hiding her first name.
Yeah, her true identity. I mean, frankly, just knowing her two names is enough for me. I already know too much about her already. This is a human being that we should never know this much about. This person should be such a non-entity on any stage that we don't even care about the name. There's nothing good that I have ever seen come out of this woman's mouth, and I think our vitriol is well placed, very well placed. And I say that in every non-physical sense. Our angst, our anger is truly warranted, ladies and gentlemen. She uses Danielle's first name, yet controls what pronouns and names children can use in school. Yeah, sure. And you said gotcha.
Yep.
And hang on. I'm not going to allow this to slip my purview again. And it is. Azalea, I would be interested to know some of the stats for the UK and Australia to see how badly this failed when it was tried. I don't know that much about Australia, but we did cover the UK, and I just, stated it now. These are the statistics we know of. I could go back to my notes, but, I won't at the moment, just for the flow of the show, as it were. But I believe the number was 2,300 in as many people as are on that program literally died as a result of the program itself, in whatever respect that was. And that is 1 in 900 people. They took, I forget what the name of the vaccine was, off the shelf in the 70s for some virus that was going around in the 70s, and it killed 1 in 100,000 people, and they took it off the shelf. So they're not taking this off the shelf at 1 in 900? Come on, come on. What does that tell you? How does that inform you? How does that instruct you? What does that say? Your government is not that into you. They are just not that into you. Maya, I went searching for the source of the disabled G12 student who stood up to DS the board. They cut A's, replaced them with unskilled. Supposedly is true, though no one returned my questions yet. I went searching for the source. Okay, Maya, good work. Let us know what comes of that. Have you heard of this disabled G12? Grade 12? Have you heard of this?
I have, but we're seeing the same kind of things happening here across the board for education as it is. Like they're cutting EA supports, they're hiring people that are not skilled to deal with special needs children. I have 3 of them in programs right now. And yeah, no, the support isn't there for our children, which is really sad. Because what happens when they get to PDD? What happens, with FSCD? Right. And then what happens when they get onto these supports? So that's one of the reasons why I'm continuing to fight as hard as I am to see programs put into place that are ironclad, that, it doesn't matter what government comes in, they can't be dismantled the way that they are right now.
It's generational, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely it is.
Yep. 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 And like we said, everybody is either a $500, mishap away from needing some kind of support, and yep. Everybody is only one, slip of a chainsaw away from needing full support for the rest of their life.
Yep.
Or depression. And I'll tell you what, if this society right now, if the way we're living is not taking the piss out of everybody, it's hurting everybody, man. You can lie to me and you can say, oh, I'm fine. No, you fucking ain't. No, you ain't. And if you think you're fine, then you are suffering a psychosis.
Yep.
You literally are. Nobody can live because the species itself was not meant to live in this manner, with this type of pressure, with this much on a daily basis coming through, our informational systems. Gaza, Iran, Ukraine, ADAP, UK, Australia. We are overloaded with not only information, but the worst information and the worst understanding of humankind on a daily basis. That creates a mass psychosis. That's what happened with COVID, and it's never stopped. That mass psychosis started during COVID, and it has never stopped. We had a
that was like that one individual that stopped by on the first there, and he goes, "Well, it's just the government."
Right.
Like that's
what are you going to do?
Some excuse, for them to be doing what they're doing. Oh, it's just the government.
That's the way a 12-year-old thinks. That's literally that's how a child thinks. I thought that way when I was 12. I maybe thought that way when I was 20. But that dude, God bless him, needed to grow up, and in a hurry. Oh, it's just the government. They've always done it. Well, yes. And what? And what? The government has always done it. I agree with you. And now what? Right? The people have always risen up too, to bring down their government, to humble their government, and to get what they need. That is also true. So you just can't go, that's the government. Like, yo, Adrian.
Yeah.
You can't, you know what I mean? You got to be smarter than Rocky, I'm sorry. Nothing against Sylvester Stallone, although he is a MAGA supporter. Anyway, I went searching. The board was fired. They wasted $55 million on 100,000 students. They were petty passing notes about each other's appearances and wasting tons of money on stupid things. Sound familiar? The board was fired. They wasted $55 million on 100,000 students. I'd love to know what wasted means. They were petty passing notes about each other's appearances. Can you parse that a little bit, Chantal? I'm not understanding it.
I think she's referring to the unskilled workers that were brought in to help students instead of them having actual educational assistants that were trained on how to deal with special needs students.
I see.
Right? So they paid $55 million to cover 100,000 students on a new unskilled support structure, and the people that were brought in were basically still students themselves, and they were being petty and not doing their actual jobs. So passing notes back and forth about, what each other was wearing or playing on their phones or whatever. And yeah, that sounds familiar.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now it sounds familiar. Yes. Because anybody who watches this show or just has a modicum of understanding of what this is going to defeat the logic and the knowledge of the typical chick on the other line or guy on the other line of ADAP going, I don't know, I wouldn't worry about it. We know better than that. And that is why we can literally tell them to get their shit together. They are the Nazi Guard, and they need to do better in their own life. We are already ahead of them. Both.
Yeah, but like I was telling one of our members the other night that I was on the phone with, that the government has really cemented in that we are not a group of people to be worried about.
Well,
we won't fight back. We don't have the skill to fight back. We don't have access, or we can't access the information to make us stronger. All this other BS that we've been force-fed for however long we've been force-fed it. Now, everybody is finding their way slowly to my page, to the website, to the podcast, and all steps between. And it's growing. We are becoming a more educated bunch who aren't going to take the shit much longer.
Right. Yep. Yep, they picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's okay if they really want to sit there and think, oh well, the disability community, we don't even have to worry about them because sooner or later they'll get too tired and they'll go back to bed, right? Nah.
Nope.
We're getting angry, we're getting pissed off, and we're starting to aim that fire where it belongs.
Yep.
And we're gonna see change. We're gonna see change. It's inevitable.
Yep.
With how pissed off the community is starting to become at large.
I mean,
and it's not just us either. The middle class is starting to see what's happening because the information is there and it's broken down in a way that they can understand it for themselves and see, oh hey, this is what was said, but this is what's actually happening.
Yep.
So it's contradicting itself. That's not right. And then with my source documents backing up what our claims are, based on what's being posted by the government, people are going, well, I'm going to check this out. And then they go and they check it out and it's like, oh, well, shit, it's right. The government is contradicting themselves on TV or on newscasts or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's, let them keep digging the hole.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Because sooner or later, the sides are going to cave in.
Well, and the unions are starting to mobilize now, too, in a big way. There was a protest today at a Daniel Smith pancake breakfast in Calgary, headed by the union. I didn't go because I got to sleep at 5 and I had shit stuffed up my nose all day. So, but Pam, but I saw it a couple of days ago. Pam said something about it this morning, but of course I was doing other things. But we are starting to motivate. We are starting to action, and that's where we need people to, come out, man. We need you to come out in so much as you can. Not those who can't. In so much as you can, we need your physical presence. I believe we're going to have somebody on from the union here pretty soon, and one of the academics that did that report on what this means for Albertans, for the 80,000 on ADAP, and the clinical analysis that they've done. So we are fired up. We are ready to go. And what a kick in the ass, ladies and gentlemen, it would be if those who they thought, were the least of these, the absolute least of these, were the ones to necessarily change society for a new generation.
Yep.
And that's potential. And whether or not, Chantal showed me this yesterday. Some lady from another group, said that I guess she's an admin and she's done a lot of work, I guess, for this cause. But she said, like we're passing the torch now to your and Gavin's generation. And I thought, well, how old do you think I am? Because I think we're probably about the same age. But regardless, this is a new generation. This is a new day. This is the eye of the needle. This is the event horizon. This is the moment we're at. It is that moment to grab, whatever, I'm going to say colloquialisms till I'm blue in the face, but grab the bull by the horns and really do something. Really prove that they were fucking wrong. That they should have picked on the middle class instead of us. Can I get an amen? Or a hell?
Amen.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I had a message come through if I was free or not, and it's like, no, I'm on the podcast right
now. Amen, says Maya. Thank you, Maya. Amen, says Laurel. Thank you, Laurel. And hey, Laurel, great to see you. Let me just take a look at these here. Let me go up, man. The chat is on fire today. And we have the best goddamn chat in the business. I'll tell you that right now, Chantal.
Absolutely.
This is the best chat ever. Maya, that was when DS was on the school board. She caused chaos, was fired, and now she's premier. Holy shit. So all of these things that Maya was talking about, once again, right, you It is the dumbest, stupidest, most ignorant people that get promoted in life. I have noticed this since I was in probably my mid-20s. It is the morons that always get promoted. I still, to this day, I'm 60, I don't understand it. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is, except that somehow it serves an agenda, and yet all it is you're failing upward. When the rest of us, and humanity tells us that if you fail, you go down. Right? You go down to you haven't learned enough yet. So you got to go down, learn that, come back up. So right? Right? Government and corporations fail upward. It's astounding to me. Grace, not worrying about us was a big mistake. Their first mistake, Grace. How can I not agree with that? Once again, they picked on the wrong fucking people. I truly believe that. I believe that now for about 5 or 6 years, far before any of this shit. I believe that the homeless and the underclass are the ones that are going to rise up. I really believe that. Nicole, the truth empowers us. Goddamn right it does, Nicole. Beautifully said. Excuse me, Grace. We aren't the ones noticing the contradictions.
Yeah. We're not the only ones. Yeah.
By Acorn. We're not the only ones in noticing. Oh, we're not the only ones in noticing the contradictions. By Acorn. I don't know what you mean there.
That was that pancake breakfast thing that you were talking about.
Oh, and so sorry, I don't know, maybe this is my dysfunction.
I think Acorn ended up showing up at that Danielle Smith pancake breakfast thing.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad they did, because I know they had another one and it was slated for somewhere else. So I don't know if they were at the Danielle Smith one, because they had another one. And I wish Acorn would have gotten together with the union, because they really could have kicked the shit out of that. They were both up at the same time, so I really wish they could have combined forces. And I think this is something some of these NGOs could do a better job at. Where's the fire being lit today, right? Where's the action at? Let's get there. Let's all congregate there. Let's not make it 2 places. Let's make it 1 place. Let's concentrate it, and you know what I mean? It's that's campaign shock and awe right there. That's Sun Tzu's, what his book is all about, right? The Art of War. The Art of War. Concentrate, boom, hit. Message, okay. Maya, amen. Thank you. Laura, amen. Grace, hell yeah. Yes, and Azalea, Grace, which I love. I love Azalea. That's such a beautiful name, no? Azalea. It sounds like a flower. Like what am I thinking? Azalea? I don't know. There's some flower that's very close to that. Amen.
I don't know. In Minecraft, there's a tree called an azalea.
Oh no shit!
That's where that's where the name twigs for me is Minecraft.
All right. I never got into Minecraft.
Oh, my eldest was into it for a long time, so of course Mommy had to learn how to play that.
Oh yeah. I was more of an FPS, a first-person shooter, and Minecraft was kind of RPG, wasn't it? Role-playing?
Yes and no. It's more of like a sandbox game.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, enough about... this isn't a gaming podcast. Azalea is a flowering plant. Right. Azalea is a flowering plant. Right. I knew I wasn't far off there. Well, thank you. So, there is something, I'm going to go to my notes here. Do you have my notes? Did you write your own, Chantal? I don't know how we're coming at this.
However you want. I left your notes kind of be.
Okay.
Because you know how you want to approach your talking points, and then I can jump in here and there. What you doing, Munchie? What?
All right.
Change your button.
Okay, just let me go there, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. I should have had this up, but the world not being a perfect place, Let me go there really quick. So today we're going to talk about a few things. I came across a really interesting sort of Facebook snippet from this lawyer in the States. And since then, I've followed him. I feel like he has some good things to say, you know. And that is kind of the header of this today's podcast is, you know, the 5 words that could really help you in addressing H workers and your doctor and you know, people that would otherwise want to cause you harm. Not your doctor, but I think we can settle with H, ADAP, and the government. And so the language is a very important thing to me. As a matter of fact, me and my son is just finishing his master's in linguistics. And proper verbiage has always been important to me. So we're going to talk about these 5 words that can really, really help you out. But we'll start at the top, okay? Chantal, do you want to take it from the top? I sent you this, right?
Just regarding what people answer the wrong question?
That's it, yeah. Yeah.
So they answer, can you do something? But the real question is, can you sustain competitive employment? So that's where the 5 words come in. And before we get to them, here is why this is not abstract for anyone listening in Alberta. That gap between the 2 questions is not a turn of phrase. It is the literal fork in the law. AISH is for a disability that permanently prevents employment. ADAP is for a disability that substantially impedes it. 1 word apart, prevents or impedes, and that 1 word decides which program a person lands in and how much they lose. A reassessment back to AISH turns entirely on which of those 2 your record shows. So the question you answer and how you answer it is not a detail, it is the whole thing.
Okay.
I kind of added hidden snippets.
Yeah, you did. So where are you exactly then? They say things like, can I take it from there? Or did you just cover that? Okay, so here's a very interesting thing that I think we can all agree with. People with disabilities tend to minimize themselves. I think there's truth to that. Of course, you know, why wouldn't there be truth to that, right? Because you know, people say, oh, you're this, you're that, right? And so we feel minimized. I know that's what my father said to me as a child, and I believed it for a lot of my life. I believe it far less now, if really much at all. But we minimize ourselves. We minimize our disabilities, right? You know, maybe it's not that bad. You know, maybe I can do what other people say I can do. It's a minimization, really. It's not the truth, because when you're laying in bed at night or when you try to get up in the morning and you know you can't, that's the reality of your situation. That's the true reality of it. Not what anybody else told you, but what your body told you. What your body told you. And you're not lying to yourself, because we've spent a lifetime trying not to be a burden. That's another part of it, right? I don't want to be a burden to people. You know, no, I'll get up, I'll try really, I got to try harder. I got to try harder, right? We don't accept where we're at. We don't accept our station, right? And a lot of that comes from the pressure of other people, right? We wouldn't feel like we were a burden if people didn't really express themselves in ways that made us feel like we were. We would feel it far less, and we might be able to say, hey, I need help today. But that's proper community too, and we don't have proper community. They say things like, I manage, I get by. We say things like, I manage, I get by. I have good days, you know. I mean, it's not all bad. Right? I could probably work part-time. You know, I mean, yeah, because I feel really good right now. Of course, I'm going to fall apart a half an hour from now, but I feel really good right now. I just need the right support. Well, that's true. We all need the right support, and we sure as hell ain't getting it today.
No.
But we do need the right support, but even with the right support, your body doesn't lie. Now, there is a body and brain connection. We understand that, and we get that. And your mindset can certainly affect you biologically and how you feel and what you're capable of. And a good body can inform, a broken mind. No, I've still got strength. But that's not the end of it. That's only a part of it. So to us, that kind of sounds like resilience. That sounds like power. That sounds like willpower. What a fucking misnomer that is, willpower. What is that? Science has not settled the fact that we even have a will. Science hasn't figured that out yet. Because the brain, the subconscious part of the brain, comes to a determination. It's quick, it's milliseconds before the conscious part of the brain is aware of it, but it's still true. The subconscious makes a decision before you're consciously aware of that decision. And it throws willpower up in the air as to what that means, what is the proper definition of will. To us it sounds like willpower, right? But your subconscious doesn't lie to you. And when it informs your conscious brain, you ain't getting up today. That's the truth. That's the truth. Because the law isn't asking whether you occasionally do something. It's asking whether your disability prevents employment or merely impedes it. Right?
Yep.
And this is a huge thing right here. If we take this apart, it's asking whether your disability prevents employment. You see, so what they're trying to do, if you say, well, I think I can do something, aha, I got you. So you can do something. You see what I mean? That's the assumption, right? That's the judgment. That's the quick judgment of people in power that go, well, I guess you just answered it then, didn't you? You can work. But that's not the whole story, right? But that's what they want to lean on, is an asinine understanding of biology, and an asinine understanding of psychology, a complete disregard for sociology and how we interact as a species and what we actually need to interact. It's asking whether your disability prevents employment or merely impedes it, right? Yeah. So, okay, well, what kind of imposition is it, right? And they want to make a determination for you as to what impede means for you.
Yeah.
Not your doctor telling them that, and not you telling them that. Well, it impedes me to this extent. So we're quickly getting to the 5 words that we talked about. Chantal, do you want to take it from there?
Yeah. So just regarding impedes and prevents, right? So this is not us coaching you on clever phrasing. This is the legal or the real legal test quoted back to you. So prevents means AISH, impedes means ADAP. Everything that follows is about which of those two your true answer describes. So most people unknowingly answer the easier question. Can I work? Very few answer the harder one. Can I reliably keep a job? Those are not the same question. So, and that's where 5 words become incredibly important. Not because they're magic words, right? Because they're language. They're the language vocational experts use when describing whether someone can sustain competitive employment, which is something that was found a long time ago that I cannot sustain, is competitive employment.
Right. Right. And so the 5 words are next. But before we go there, I'm going to create a little tension and go to the chat very quickly, because I noticed some things coming up in the chat. I liked the name Azalea, but it has nothing to do with Minecraft. I just thought it was gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And it's really unique, man, and really, you can almost smell what azalea smells like. You know what I mean? Like, there's an aroma to that. There's a visceral or almost a tangible nature to the aura of what that is. It's tremendous. I have to run, get my son from daycare. Great chat today. Thank you, Grace. And please, yes, of course, get about your business. We are here 4 days a week, and we love the fact that you came in. Nicole, it took me many years to accept my station. Yeah, I gained a freedom once I was able to do that. Amen, sister. Freedom to love and accept myself for all that I am. And when you do that, maybe, you know, I'll ask you, Nicole, when you can truly have the freedom to love yourself, and to know what that means, not a narcissism, not an ego trip, but the real understanding of what loving yourself means, meaning that you have the right to possess the same amount of earth, the same intellect, the same understanding as any other human being. You are not less than, and you are not more than in terms of your humanity. But it is no less, that is for sure. It is on par with every other humanity in the world. Once you realize that, you really start to love yourself. At least I did. And then you start to love other people, because you don't judge them anymore. You realize, oh my God, they're as broken as I was. They're literally as broken as I was before I took the journey to love who I am. And now that I love me, I love what I mean to the world. Now, when I look around me, I see the matrix. I see people hating themselves every day, even when they come against me. I know it's not about me. It's about them. It's about the fact that they haven't taken the journey yet. The hero's journey. The journey towards self-discovery and love. Ivy, I'm here, been here all day long. I feel like death. Sorry for not being active. Ivy, please, no. Whatever you got to do, girl. I hear been here all day, all along. It's okay. We know you're here. Just the fact that you jump up and go, hey, I'm here. That's good enough. Take care of you.
I know Ivy wouldn't miss a podcast.
I know. She's our one of our biggest supporters, fans, and we love her. And we want you to take care of yourself. That's what self-love is, right? It's the ability to go, no. Who's the important man, guy right now, girl right now? Me. I am. I'm important right now, and I need to do this. And screw them if they drop from 10 people to 9 people. I gotta go. I gotta be me. We're okay. You know, we're not. I get excited at 203 subscribers, but it's not my life. And I want. If you take care of you, I know I'm doing something right. So that's all I care about, Ivy. We love you. Nicole, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Thanks, Nicole, for saying that. I decided I wasn't, Nicole, I decided I wasn't defined by my disability. That's right. You are defined by your humanity. You are defined by the fact that you exist. Right? You know you exist. Right? And just your mere existence is what you hang on, not your disability, not how you identify. Identity is far removed from who you really are in the world and your station and your place in it. Your place is the fact that I know, therefore I am. You know you exist because you have consciousness, and therefore you are. And that's the beginning and the end of all things. That can take care of everything that you don't believe about yourself. All right? Because everything outside of that is not first order. It is all secondary, tertiary, you know, fourth order, fifth. It all goes down the line. The first order is I know that I exist, therefore I am. I am in the world, just as Jeff Bezos or any motherfucker who thinks he's any more. I am. I am. Sam. Hey, Sam, it's been a while. I hope you're all right. Just got here. I'll catch up. Please do. You can notice I have white paper coming out of my nose for a good reason, but if you back up, you'll figure out why that is. Laura Brown, I can absolutely work, but how many employers are going to wait for me to return after doing IV treatments for 4 days? We're getting to that, and the good news is coming. The good news is right around the corner. We can't predict, well, will I shut down? I say as I'm getting ready to head out for one. Right. Yeah. I hope you stick around if you're still there, Laurel. We are getting to it now. Sam, I just read your most recent post about cohabitation. That's good news. Amen, Chantal. Good for you.
I try to be on the ball with a lot of things before they hit, so sometimes I'm a few hours late, but eventually it gets going.
Well, you know that women's intuition?
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is something Chantal has in droves. Once again, I'm a Neanderthal drummer, that just beats things for a living, and this woman, sees it before it happens. Somehow, her ear is to the ground, and she knows. She just knows what is next. So here it is. I'm gonna take a drink. That's good. We need an endorsement. We most definitely need an endorsement. The 5 words, ladies and gentlemen: unpredictable. Unpredictable. I am unpredictable. I don't know when I'm going to fail. There is no clock on that. I don't punch in and out of unpredictability. Unpredictability can happen to me in a second. Now, if you're talking to any employer or even any ADAP worker, and you say the word unpredictable, and you describe what that means in your own circumstance, and you're honest about that, you don't try and diminish it. You say, I'm seriously unpredictable. I could go from, putting a widget together to my hands cramping up, to me sweating profusely, to me having to take a dump in a heartbeat, and then I'm gone. I'm done. And that is completely unpredictable. It comes from nowhere. I don't know where it comes from. It is not contrived by me. It is a mere function of my brain, of my psychology, or my biology. We all have that, and this is what the government has gotten wrong. They haven't factored in the unpredictable nature. And no employer in his right mind wants an unpredictable employee. They want them to, work on that fucking assembly line, 8 hours a day, until they can't, and they end up, the same way we do. They're either psychologically broken or biologically broken. Unpredictable. That is the first word. Unscheduled, as in breaks, right? All of a sudden I get agoraphobic. I get, you know what I mean? And once again, it comes out of nowhere. But I get paranoid, right? My leg cramps, and I have to sit down. My ex-girlfriend worked at the post office, and she was not allowed to sit down for 8 hours. You would get fired if you sat at the job. Even when you're just sitting there, you had to stand at the counter. I'm like, that's got to be against fucking human rights. The fact that your body cannot withstand 8 hours of standing. Even a Mesopotamian knew that. When they were out hunting. I mean, they would have to sit down. They would have to shade under a tree. They would have to take pressure off of their, limbs. It is a biological function of the species. She would get fired if she sat down for 1 minute out of 8 hours, except on a break, I guess. And I told her, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. That's you can't do that. Unscheduled breaks. It just comes on. I freak out. I get agoraphobic. I can't be in big spaces, and I don't know when that's going to happen. Somebody talk to me, I get rid of the face. I have to run. I have to run away. I need those unscheduled breaks. So if you're willing to have me unpredictable and have unscheduled breaks, I guess I'm the employee for you. Any employer is going to go, hey, any ADAP employee that don't know shit about shit is going to go, absent. The third word, absent. I'm just not going to show up. I mean, I want to work, don't get me wrong. But I'm going to have to be absent 3 days a week because my condition does not allow me to be competitive on a day-to-day basis like Joe in the mailroom. I can't be that. I am going to have to be absent, and you're going to have to accept that. And once again, you know, we laugh at this, but that, at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, when it just started to happen, it was the worker that interviewed the employer. What are you going to give me? I need this much time off. That was a real thing. We laugh at it now, we scoff at it. But the worker actually had power over the employer at certain points in this capitalistic miasma that we all live. You're going to be absent. Chantal, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, off task. I'm big for this one. I have to have multiple tabs open. I have to be making my rose pins, video in the background, music in one ear, kids running around. I have to be really, really busy constantly. I can't just be focused on one thing or I'll go to sleep. So off task is a big hurdle for a lot of people. They get distracted with something or something comes up, or maybe they need to book an appointment or whatever. You're not able to constantly focus on one task. And then pace. So how fast you can get something done.
And that competitive,
that's another big barrier for people.
That competitive nature of what the employer wants versus what you can produce. Your pace has to be, you know, this much, and your pace is that.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that I think they're not expecting us to be armed with, Gavin, when we go into these.
They don't fucking know these people.
And I guess my biggest push against all of this is we need to stop shrinking ourselves. We know what our limitations are. We know what they are. We know what we can and cannot do. And we just need to be honest with ourselves and honest with the person across the table who doesn't know us.
Right.
You know what? Standing for 8 hours a day, that's not going to happen. Why? Because I have extreme body pain. Why? Because I have this issue. Why? Because I have this issue. Right? We can be honest about it. Right. We're not looking to get the fucking job.
Right.
Right? We're really not. We need to be able to advocate for ourselves and say, you know what? I can appreciate that you want to get me working. Totally appreciate it. But these are what my shortcomings are.
Right.
I'm not going to bow to you. I'm not going to try and fit my oddly shaped cog into the wrong shape of hole just to make you hit your budget line. That's not happening.
Right.
And I have XYZ medical documentation stating that I cannot work.
Right.
It was already put in place. I was already on ACE. You guys pulled from the wrong pool for employment services.
Right.
Right? So that's the biggest thing. We need to stop bowing down. We are the way that we are because that is how we were meant to be. There's something to be learned here, whether it's making yourself stronger, standing up for yourself. Maybe that's something that you didn't learn growing up, and that's what you're supposed to learn now. We have a voice. We have a right to what is protected for ourselves. And our autonomy is right up there on that list. So if we can't do something because of whatever reason, lay it out.
Your autonomy is first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. And Chantal, I don't think I couldn't have said it any better myself. You know, maybe this is something we haven't learned from childhood. And I would say we haven't learned it, and it's about goddamn time we did.
Yeah.
You know, the people want to say, oh, well, that's really good verbiage, Gavin, but is it true? And here's the thing, is language is everything. Using proper language means that you're understood. It means that no one can fuck with your words once you portray them correctly and succinctly and in a way, right? That you just, what is loving yourself, what is standing up for yourself, it is, I'm unpredictable. Well, you know, what does that mean? I mean, you could work, right? Like you can. No. I want to be kind, but you just didn't hear me. You did not hear what I just said. I said unpredictable. Now you have to ask yourself as an employer, is unpredictable what you want? You don't have to question me.
Well, because reliability is a big thing for a lot of employers these days.
Well, it's everything. And right, and you don't have to question me. I've already answered your question. You have to ask yourself the hard question. And that is, do you want somebody unpredictable working for you? Because that is me, and I'm being honest with you. You could take it to the fucking bank. Now you choose. Not me. You. You see? And that is loving yourself. That is putting someone in their place because you know that you have just spoken the truth and it need go no further than that. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to prove it. You just have to speak it as your own truth. And if somebody wants to argue with you about that, they can't. They're not you. They don't know the truth of your existence. Only you do. And the truth is what you speak. I'm unpredictable. That's it. You choose. That's power, ladies and gentlemen. And you have to be good about this. While we take on this fight with the shittiest government in recent history, you know, as we fight this, you need to protect yourself. You need to be honest with yourself and love yourself as we take this fight on. Because standing up for yourself once means there's all potential you'll do it again. And once you do it twice, it kind of makes it easier the third time. And all of a sudden, you're a different person in your own reality. Going, holy fuck, why am I standing up for myself? I used to, you know, just, okay, whatever, you know. Now I'm like, hey, fuck you. Don't talk to me like that.
I used to be like that. I used to be really just keep my head down, don't say anything, and just let it go. And then I had kids.
And then you had kids.
And then I had kids.
Right.
And because I never learned to advocate for myself or respect my own autonomy, my kids taught me how to do that by respecting and honoring theirs. And now I'm the loudest voice in the room.
And see, isn't that the thing? Because you don't want your kids to grow up to go like this.
No.
You want your kids
I'm teaching my children that no is a full sentence.
Exactly.
You don't have to tell me why.
Right.
If you want to say no, then it's no.
Right. Exactly. No is no. And unpredictable is unpredictable.
Yep.
You don't have to quantify it. You don't have to define it. It's whatever it means to you. You have spoken it. And now somebody else makes a decision. For themselves, not for you. You've already decided. I'm unpredictable. Now you choose. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very pretty thing.
Like our first window into this employment stuff isn't going to be with a potential employer. It's going to be with an ADAP representative or our caseworker, as I've heard them so dubbed. And that's the person that we want to be the most honest with. And I don't mean airing out I'm not talking airing your dirty laundry or over explaining or, you know, going down that trauma road where people like to be way too in depth for information, right? Sometimes we get verbal diarrhea and we don't know when to stop, right? Because, hey, somebody's listening to us. Yep. We can air our grievances, right?
Yep.
That's why I created that worksheet for all of us, so that we stick to what's written down. Right? Because as soon as we give them an inch or we give them too much information, they're going to bury us with it. So sticking to principle here is what's key. They don't need to know how you grew up or what's this or what's that. They need to know why you cannot get employed. Right. Why employment is a barrier for you.
Right. And
so is it because you're unpredictable? Is it because you have unscheduled break necessities to go to the bathroom or to do this or, you know, sitting breaks or whatever? Those are the kinds of things that they need to know.
Right.
Right? And then absenteeism. So if they want you to work part-time or full-time or whatever, they just want to know what your availability would be.
Right.
Well, I have a lot of absence. Like I'm going to have a lot of absences because my doctor's offices and my specialist offices are only open Monday to Friday. right, from this time to that time, and I go this many days a week or this many days a month. That needs to be guaranteed.
Yep. Yep.
Right? That's part of your employability, right? Yep. Not being able to focus on tasks. That's another one. It'll help them to figure out where to put you.
Yep.
Right? And then pace. It takes me 10 times longer than it takes somebody else being repeated to 10 times to understand the same concept. Yep. So instead of having 2 weeks of, being trained, I need at least a month and a half.
Yep.
No employer is going to give you a month and a half worth of training just to be able to get you up to speed. It's a waste of their time, and it's because they don't know if they're going to want to keep you.
Right.
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 So that's the kind of things that we have to be really, really honest about when we go into these ADAP meetings. And I'm so looking forward to it, Gavin. I really am.
Yeah.
Because I'll have it right from the horse's mouth. Right.
Oh, I know. You're prepared, and we're trying to prepare everybody else. And once again, right? Like, somebody says, I need a month training where you could probably do this in a day with somebody else.
Exactly.
And they say, well, oh my God, we can't give you that. Why do you need that? Well, just give them the answer they want to hear, because I'm a fucking idiot. Now what? Now what? You got what you wanted.
Because I have cognitive issues.
Exactly. Well,
I have issues with turning short-term to long-term.
Yeah, I don't mean the fucking idiot disingenuously. I mean it genuinely. I mean, you're giving them what they want. You see? Yep. What they want to hear is you're a fucking idiot. So you know what? I'm a fucking idiot. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Now you have to choose, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I've just accepted.
And it's okay to get that no.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it puts
it's still
them
engagement.
Well,
it's still participation, Gavin. You go in there for an interview and you're totally honest with somebody after you meet with your ADAP whatever worker or employment person, and they go, hey, you know what? We've lined up a couple interviews with you. Great. Go.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that the person from ADAP was honest with you that I'm going to need this and I'm going to need that, and this is the only way that it's... They're going to sit there with their jaws on the floor. You're not being untruthful, and you're not shooting yourself in the foot. You're being honest, and you're engaging in the process.
Right, and you could tell the employer, what, the ADAP chick didn't tell you this? The ADAP guy didn't tell you this?
Exactly.
Like, what, well, and then you can have a rapport with them. Well, that's our fucking government, isn't it? That's our government.
Exactly.
They should have told you. They should have told you that I'm fucked, and they didn't tell you that. So don't look at me.
Yep.
That's them.
I'm not their boss.
That's right. That's right. You go back to them.
Thank you for having me here.
You go back to them. Thank you very much, and good night. Oh yeah, man. No, we got the goods. We know how to defeat this shit. I'm gonna.
And it starts with everybody. It does. It starts with everybody. Everybody is entitled to their own autonomy. Everybody needs to be seen the way that they need to be seen.
Yep.
We're not living in a cookie cutter era, and we're most definitely not. Everybody is completely different from one another. Like no two autistic individuals are exactly the same. I have the whole spectrum in my house. None of my 3 kids are identical.
Right, right. No, they're not. They're quite unique and beautiful in their own way. And I can say this from experience now. And that's right, man. The story about the eagle and the condor. About the fact that we're really entering a time, I think, right now where the spiritual, whatever that means, the spiritual is meeting the pragmatic, right? And we are once again taking our power back as human beings. And this is how we do it, by speaking truth. And by basically telling people, no. No. This is who I am. You either accept it or you go fuck yourself. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Let me go to the chat. You okay with Chantal?
Yeah, I just wanted to hit Nicole's comment here. I had to advocate for my son when he was growing up, and I did a great job. I'm hoping I'll be able to be a strong advocate for myself. My brain just isn't working the same as it used to. My trick, how I advocate for myself as well as my children, is I imagine that I am advocating for my inner child. The one that didn't have somebody to stand up for it.
Right.
And that is the voice that I carry when I go into rooms.
Right. Right. That's, and you see, I think of my inner child the exact opposite way. My inner child protects me. It's a very interesting, flip on that, but that's how I saw it. I went through, some kind of spiritual healing, spiritual quote unquote. It was really quite pragmatic, but it had a spiritual element to it. And when I went through that, I personally, might only be me that feels this way, but I realized that my inner child is not broken. He's the one that is unbroken. He's the one unblemished. He is the sinless as the driven white snow. And he sees the world with all excitement. No different than I would have been at his age. He learned how to do nunchucks. He took karate. He played drums. He was a hockey player. He was just going, what's today? What are we doing today? What are we doing? And then I grew up through abuse and everything else in my life, and I reached this mopey state, this depressed, hateful, self-hateful, state in my life. And when I went back to meet him, he was still sitting in the car, in my dad's car, in the back seat of the station wagon, when I almost got essentially stolen by a pedophile, and probably would have been raped and perhaps killed if it wasn't for one circumstance. I know that's heavy, but that's the truth. And I went back into the car with him. And the person kind of leading me through this said, what do you say to him? What do you want to say to him? I said, I got nothing to say to him. Like, he knows everything. He knows the score. He just is upset, or not upset, but he's waiting for me to get over myself. He's waiting for me to heal, because there's nothing wrong with him. He ran away even for the best reason. He knew what he was doing. And since then, I've always let my inner child inform me. I do not try to heal my inner child. My inner child is the best part of me that ever existed. So when I go back to him, I ask him, what are we doing today? He's going, well, whatever we got, let's fucking go. I'm ready to go, man. And I'm like, okay, well, that's me. You see, that's me. The child is me. He's the true me. He's the real me. I get it. It's weird. It's a little out there. But it's certainly informed me, and it's certainly fucking helped me. I can tell you that. And I love that kid. Yep. I love that kid now. I forgot about him forever. And he was the guy with the drumsticks going, we got to learn the paradiddle today. Come on, let's go. He's the guy that made me the musician I was. Anyway, I defer. I digress. Sam, I think it's so crazy how they expect us to live up to some absolutely unachievable goals, set by somebody who doesn't even know us. Of course, right? It's like, you don't know me, right? You haven't been with me for 60 years, right? Reality for me is I've never had a job interview and not gotten the position. I've never had a job, until I couldn't work and therefore stopped interviewing because I know I can't do it now. Well, then you're honest with yourself. And if you're honest with yourself, you can be honest with me. You can be honest with Chantal, the chat, and the world at large. Because I know I can't do it now. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they say. I can't do it. So interviewing is just wasting everybody's time, everyone's time. The government loves to waste money and time. So waste their money and go there and tell the guy, I'm everything you think I am. Right? You think I'm a moron? I'm a moron. Is that it? Can I go now? I don't care.
I can never get through the interviews.
Yeah,
I'm too honest in the interviews. Well, what sets you apart from all of the other applicants that I've gotten, resumes from? I don't know. Would you like me to go through them for you?
Right.
And tell you what I have that they don't have, because I can't answer that question without actually knowing what's written on their resume.
Well, and I'd be honest too. A guy says, well, what sets you apart from the rest of the candidates? I'd say, they're better than me. Like why am I here? Why am I here? Why the fuck am I here?
Yeah.
You know, and to me, that's the honesty I'll give them, because I hate myself, because I know my limitations. And there's probably a fucking 20-year-old out there that's raring to go, that needs the life experience. I'm 60 fucking years old. I don't need it anymore. Okay? So, you know, what sets me apart? I'm more stupid than everybody you know. How's that? Like, okay, can I go now? Can I just walk out the fucking door? Thank you. Thank you. We're good. Now, do I believe that about myself? No. But the whole thing is asinine. Right? The questions you're asking are the questions of a dumb man, not an informed one. So let's play your game. I think it's okay, Sam. Until I couldn't. Okay, so we finished that. It's just wasting everybody's time. Yeah, of course. But apparently that's the only thing I have in abundance these days, is time. Well, you know, time is short, man, and we need to use that time for what it is we were actually placed on this planet to do. That's why I podcast. That's why Chantal does the work Chantal does. Because we're actually literally doing the work we feel like a God or the universe or nature has actually petitioned us and put in as a desire in our heart to do. And we do that. That feeds us, that carries us through the day. And I love the fact that I've now found 2 things in my life that do that. You want me to flip a McDonald's hamburger? That's the only flip you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. And you covered the advocacy, Nicole, right? Yeah. LOL, Gavin, I love that approach. Bond with the workers against the moronic overlords. Yeah. Yeah, like, whatever, right? Like, I'm not here to argue with anybody, right? You think I'm genius? Great. You think I'm an idiot? Just as fine. Just, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm in the wrong room. That's all I know. I'm in the wrong fucking room. Nicole, thanks, Chantal. I'd much rather be playing in my little garden, and you know, that's something that we've lost as a society, as a what's the word? As a you know, districting and being in community is what I'm looking for. You know, the people that garden should be gardening, and there should be a community garden. There should be a garden right next to you that you and your friends could go out to, and you know, they go, "Where's Sam?" "Oh, fuck, there's Sam." You know, today, and boom, Sam's doing her shit. She's contributing to her own life and the lives of other people in her community. That's all you need to do, right? That's all you need to do. You don't need to be what people say you need to be, especially under the guise of a capitalistic system that demands that you be the slave while other people profit off of your labor. Okay? That is not antiquity. That is not what we learned as a species. And it is not the best for our species. The best for our species is, what do you do well? What do you love? What puts you to bed at night? What gets you up in the morning? That's what you need to do. And if that's gardening, do it. Because I need a carrot tonight. I need carrots with dinner. You know? And that's how you provide. And it's a beautiful thing. Are we too big to do that now? Some people are going to argue that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. I believe
we have greenhouses.
We have greenhouses, and you know, like, what is the means of production? Like, what makes us think that we need everything we have? What we need are the essentials, and anything above that is a bonus, right? We've only been trained that we need this and we need that, and I need this camera in front of me, and I need to do a podcast. And no. We don't need everything we think we need. We have very few needs, and it's a humbling experience to realize that we don't need all that, and that we're not going to perform at that level anyway. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like, we're not going to perform. Neither one of us is going to be Jeff Bezos. But the only reason Jeff Bezos is Jeff Bezos is because he's a fucking Nepo baby. Same thing with Elon Musk. Same thing with most of these privileged people. It's the mere exception that really ever comes from nothing. Most of these people, Trump, there came out a thing. Donald Trump said he got $2 million from his dad. That was the biggest loan he got. Well, there was an article that just came out in which he got, the truth of that is about $64 million that he got from his father. Now,
no, that's just chump change for them, though.
Well, yeah, it is. But here's the thing, Chantal. If I gave you $64 million, you could change the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So it is of no consequence of your mere own that you created something of substance from what you have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you have $64 million, it's just that Toby Keith, right? Toby Keith had an investor, spent $2 million on him, took him to Nashville, and that's why we know the name Toby Keith. Toby Keith did not come from nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Toby Keith was a byproduct of somebody else's money, and that's the way it goes. Sam, absolutely, and I should be trading my raspberries and pies for rides to the doctor. Oh man, I wish I had a car, but I'll eat the pie anyway, especially that raspberry one. With my laundry, I could live that way forever. Well, we can live simpler. That's all I'm saying. And for you, if that's what simple looks like, fucking A. And it's not like I haven't done the work on this, ladies and gentlemen. So people out there, well, Gavin, like that's romantic, and you're not going to speak for me. Well, I've actually done the work on this. I've created a literal ecosystem out of the 14 districts in Calgary and proven in the black, meaning financially in the black, that the model that I've created is sustainable, and it is the best model that we have for our biological, psychological, and sociological health. Nobody wants to hear this model because that would mean change. That would mean somebody gets less money. Not you, but somebody that's already got enough for themselves, for their kids, for their kids' kids, and their kids' kids. They don't want to change that. But I'm not done.
They might outchange us financially, but they don't outnumber us. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have to try and remember here. It's no different than what they said in A Bug's Life. What the hell were they? I want to call them cockroaches. They're not cockroaches. They're what the heck are those bugs called? The jumping bugs. The grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers.
And they're relying on the ants to give them all their food and sustenance to last them the season for winter. And they had a big problem with one ant standing and saying, now why are we doing this for you? You guys are stronger and bigger and can do it your damn selves. Right. And It's that one ant that can cause the entire colony to turn.
That's right.
And that's what everybody needs to realize. These people might make more money than us. They might have a little bit more power than us, but they do not outnumber us.
Right. And that's what metaphor is all about, ladies and gentlemen. And it's so easy, even a child can understand it. That's the beauty of metaphors such as this. It can come out of something as childish as a movie, as a kid's movie, as a Pixar, or whatever. But the analogy is sound. And that's where we're at right now. And is it going to come from one person? We never know where actual immediate change happens. It either happens progressively, or there is some spark that lights or ignites, and we don't know where that comes from. They never did in history, and we probably won't know today. But we discuss it. That's what we do on this podcast. We discuss where that change may come from, how we can align. And, if it took, 200 of these subscribers to say, no, you're going to go to City Hall and say, you're going to fucking listen to what Gavin has to say about this, well, then we've empowered all of us. You see what I mean? Or if I do that for Sam, or I do that for Nicole, or Ivy, or whoever's got the idea. I stand behind anybody with a great idea, and I will do that. That's what I would do for any human being that I thought had something worthy to say. Maya, I feed my kid with my little garden, blessed to have a few raised beds. I put carrots in and dill. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Sam, but we should trade. SBD, then we'd all be raspberries and carrots and dill. We'd all have raspberries. Of course, you see, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about in the simplicity of how life, can be, and how it should be, and how, once again, well, who's going to build a road, Gavin? Well, if a road needs to be built, Mesopotamia built roads. Did they have road builders? I don't know. But I also know the community built the road too. So if a road needed to be built, one was built. And if they go, that doesn't need to happen, then it doesn't happen. You see?
They were in control of their own ecosystem.
Exactly. And their own decisions and their own choices. They didn't have their
Which is what we've gotten away from. Yeah, we were putting all of the decisions in the hands of people that are the least capable to make them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is profound in its simplicity. Yes. Yes. So I want to play this video. This is the lawyer that I took the 5 words from. I just felt that it was so good that I thought I would share it with you all today. So check this out.
These are 5 words that can win your social. Word number 2 is unscheduled. These are 5 words that can win your Social Security disability case if you use them the right way. Word number 1 is unpredictable. Don't just say, I have bad days. Say, my pain, fatigue, or symptoms are unpredictable. I never know which days I'll be able to function and which days I won't. Employers need reliability. Unpredictable means they can't count on you to show up and perform consistently. Word number 2 is unscheduled. It's not enough to say, I need breaks. Say, I need unscheduled breaks during the day to lie down, use the bathroom, use my inhaler, or calm my anxiety. Unscheduled breaks are a huge problem in any job because they interrupt productivity and can't be planned around. Word number 3 is absent. Don't just say I have flare-ups. Say, because of my condition, I would be absent from work multiple days per month. Most employers won't tolerate more than 1 unscheduled absence a month over time, and Social Security knows that. Word number 4 is off-task. This is critical for pain, fatigue, and mental health. Say, even when I'm physically at work, I'm off-task a big part of the day because of pain, brain fog, or anxiety. If you would be off-task more than about 10 or 15% of the workday, most vocational experts will say you can't keep a competitive job. And the 5th word is pace. Jobs expect you to work at a steady pace all day, not just do tasks eventually. Say, I can't keep up a normal work pace for 8 hours, even with breaks. I slow down a lot from pain, shortness of breath, or trouble concentrating. Work these 5 words, unpredictable, unscheduled, absent, off-task, and pace, into your forms, your medical visits, that's a big one, and your testimony with specific examples. Disability cases are often won or lost on exactly these kinds of limitations.
So there you go. I thought I would play that for you because I think it's pretty important. And as far as I know, I got this off YouTube, but the gentleman is a lawyer in the U.S. I subscribed to his channel because I really liked what I heard there. Him giving people the tools, the ammunition, the correct verbiage in order to, to plead their case in the best possible way. And this goes for your doctor, it goes for anybody that answers the phone at ADAP, and it goes for anybody you might sit in front of that wants to potentially employ you. You can be honest with them. You can tell them, you're safe. You're on ADAP. You ain't going anywhere. You see what I mean? I mean, we don't know what's coming down the pike with all of this. But for the moment, you're as safe as you can be in this otherwise, steaming bowl of elephant piss. And for that reason, you live to fight another day. And that's why the podcast exists. That's why Chantal is doing the work she's doing. That's why all of you out there are doing all of the work you're doing. Right? Because we're fighting. We are simply fighting for ourselves, and we know what it means to fight for somebody else. And, I love the task of fighting for other people that I haven't met, but I know are just as beautiful and are just as have just as much meaning in this world as I do or anyone else. And I want to see us succeed. I want to see us get back to a life where we smile, where, where pressure and stress are not added arithmetic to our daily lives. What do you think of the video, Chantal?
I'll have to go back and watch it. I was outside doing my smoking thing.
I gotcha. You know how hard it is to smoke with something up your nose like this? Really not. It's, yeah. And I'm starting to feel lightheaded. I actually, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I feel a little anxious right now for about the last 10 minutes, and I don't know why. It may be oxygen. I don't know. But I'm just feeling a little anxious, like I haven't felt in quite a while. Maybe that's because I have this rammed, right up me hole, me face hole. So maybe we should wind it down so I can stop talking. Because, as long as I'm on here, I'm talking. I will not
no
stop.
Worries.
Sam, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that guy. Exceptional American, in my opinion, yeah. Just came across him yesterday, and I'm glad I did. Really informative. Nicole, I see that guy in Facebook. Oh, cool. I took a week off from engagement as I was becoming increasingly angry. I'm so glad to be back energized. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Sam, hey. Once again, that's part of self-love, right? That's part of knowing what you need and, feeling it. Just like I was honest right now, I feel like I'm getting lightheaded and I feel a little anxious. And it, like I said, it's probably because I got this white thing jabbed up in my face. So, Chantal, anything else?
I can finish our unpredictable, unscheduled breaks, absent, and off-task and pace, if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
So hold on to that point, that these are not magic words because it matters more than anything else here. These 5 come from the world of vocational assessment, and a lot of that language is American. So carry them the right way. They are not a spell you recite to an Alberta worker, and they are not permission to overstate one single thing. They are a mirror, a way to check whether the answer you are about to give describes what you can do once on a good day or what you can do reliably for months. That difference is the exact thing Alberta's test turns on, and most people miss it by not lying, but by aiming out of habit at the easier question. So think about what those actually mean. Your symptoms aren't predictable. You can't schedule when they'll hit. You may need breaks that no employer planned for. You may miss work because your condition flares. You may spend significant parts of the day unable to remain on task, or you simply cannot maintain the pace expected for every other employee. None of those ask whether you can lift a box or answer a phone or stock a shelf or work the good Tuesday afternoon or work one good Tuesday afternoon. They ask whether you can do those things reliably, week after week, month after month. That's the difference between capacity and sustainability. Let me make that concrete because this is where it clicks. Picture the question, can you do data entry? The minimizing truth is yes, I can do that. Both true words and both the wrong answer because they describe capacity. The full truth sounds like on a good day, yes. But 3 days out of 5, my condition means I lose focus after 20 minutes. I would miss deadlines and no employer would keep me past the first month. Same person, same truth telling. Nothing exaggerated. The only thing that changed is which question got answered. The first describes someone who needs a little help. The second describes someone who cannot sustain a job. Only one of them is the truth that matters. So almost everyone on ACE can do something. Very few can do it predictably enough to satisfy an employer, and that's the tragedy. And here is why this is about more than what you say in the room. Those 5 words are not only for the conversation, they are things your record can show and should. If your condition makes you unpredictable, absent, off task, that pattern lives in your medical notes, in the jobs that did not last, and in the shape of your years. The strongest reassessment is the one where your own words and your doctor's documentation tell the same story. Not I struggle, but I cope, but I cannot sustain work, and here is the pattern that proves it. When you talk to your prescriber before an assessment, this is the language to make sure they understand and write down, because their words carry weight yours alone cannot. So people spend years learning to say, I'm okay, I manage, I'll push through, I don't like complaining. Then they sit in front of an assessor and accidentally describe someone who merely needs employment supports. They tell the truth, but not the truth that matters, because nobody ever asked them the right question. This is the heart of it, and it deserves to be said plainly. This is not asking anyone to become more disabled or to perform helplessness for a stranger. It is the opposite. It is asking people to stop translating their reality into language of not being a burden just this once, and to let the whole truth be seen by the one system that needs it. For years, I'm fine was the brave answer. It was how you kept your dignity. And now it is the one assessment. I'm fine is the exact thing that takes your income away. That is not your failure. That is a system that trained you to disappear and then punished you for disappearing. So can you sustain competitive employment, or are you unpredictable? Do you require unscheduled breaks? Will you be absent? Will you be off task? And can you maintain pace? Those aren't tricks. They're simply another way of asking the real question. Not can you work, but can you keep working? So here is the whole thing in one breath. The 5 words are not a script, they are a mirror. Before a reassessment, hold your answer up to them and ask yourself one question. Does what I am about to say describe a good Tuesday, or does it describe my life? If it describes your life, then say that. Not louder, not bigger, just fully and truthfully for once. Because the system spent years asking you the easy question and rewarding the easy answer. This is your one chance to answer the real one and to be seen exactly as you are.
Amen. And, just to broaden that a little bit, because you can think, once again, the way I look at these sorts of things is that I'm going into battle. And no good general goes into battle without counting the cost, without re-engineering what is going to take place in that room or on the battlefield, right? So you try and think of every angle that somebody else is going to come from, which means you need to put yourself in the other person's shoes. So one example of that is, let's say somebody says, okay, well, that means you can't do this, but can you do that? Instead of explaining, oh, well, I don't know, what is that all about? Just say, everything that I've just told you applies to everything else you're going to ask me. And then stop. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to engage in conversation. This is not your friend. In some ways, this is not your friend. It could be the opposite of your friend. And you don't need to engage with these people. You just need to sell them. Everything that I just told you applies to every situation you could possibly conceive of. I've already given you the answer, so you go ahead. And then they say, well, can you shovel snow? You go, well, not with the back that I've got, not with the anxiety that I've got. And interestingly enough, every time I hold a shovel, I don't know what it is, but I always want to beat somebody with it. And usually that starts with the boss. I don't know what that is. And then you just leave it to their own devices. And that's what I would say to anybody that wants to disingenuously try and give me the answers for my own life. You don't know me. You don't know where I've been. You don't know what I've done. You don't know how I suffer. And it is not for you to even know. All you need to know is that I can't. This is why. Anything else? Or can I just leave now? Appreciate it. Thank you. You don't need to go on with these types of people. I'm just going to go back to the chat real quick. I felt like that since my ambulance ride July 1st, Gavin. I can't breathe right. Yeah, well, I know blocking one of my nasal passages is not helping, I can tell you that. I'm going to have to hopefully deal. I've tried, like, it's been in there for like, I don't know, 14, 15 hours. And every time I pull it out, it's just like, So I'm going to attempt after I say goodbye to all of the fine people and my finest of friends, or friend, Chantal. And then I will try and do that. And if not, at least I won't be talking all night. Anything you have left, Chantal? That was all great.
I think that was it, yep.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like the song, the debut of the #1 hit in Guam. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We Are Still Here is the other one. Can you hear us? Great tune. I'm going to have the video done, hopefully, in short order, and I can bring that to you all. It's really coming together well, except for that one part that I might have to fix. But enough about that. So we love you very much. We thank you all for being here. Thank you for your input. This show would be nothing without what you have to say about yourself, your own lives, and the lives of those around you. We can only talk so much, and we can only say so much. We can only bring so much information. And then the rest is up to you, and the rest is all about you. It's all about you and your neighbor, and how you're going to react and interact, in the next coming days and weeks and months, and hopefully not years. So we love you. Be well. We're back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. and we will have more hijinks for you then. But be well, stay well, and most importantly,